Hello, good noon to all of you. Today we are discuss about Anthoceros. Life cycle of Anthoceros. Anthoceros is a one type of a bryophyte. Okay, first of all we study classification of bryophyte. Kingdom, Plantae, division, Bryophyta, class Anthoceropsida, order Anthocerotales, family Anthocerataceae, and genus is a Anthoceros. Okay, then distribution. The genus Anthoceros comprises about 200 species and is widely distributed all over the world. The species of Anthoceros is cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan means it is a species of Indian species. Genus is the Indian, but occurs mainly in a temperate and tropical region. All species are found to grow in a moist and sandy place on detached rock. Atraxa. About 25 species of Anthoceros have been reported from India. Of these common species, Anthoceros erectus, Anthoceros himalayensis, Anthoceros khandalensis, and Anthoceros crispellus. These all are the species of Indian species. Okay, about 25 species they are reported in India. Okay, and they are mostly present in temperate and tropical region. Okay, then gametophytic phase of Anthoceros, or it's also known as the external feature or morphological features of Anthoceros. Okay, you can see this is the real structure of Anthoceros. The gametophytic plant body is the thalloid. You can see this is the thallus like structure. This is the spreading structure, so it is known as the thalloid. Dorsiventral prostate dark green in color, with a tendency toward the dichotomous branching, and such a branching result into the orbicular and semi-orbicular rosette-like appearance of the thallus. Okay, this is the these two lobed structure. It is known as the dichotomous. Dichotomous means their branches structure is the same, so it is known as the dichotomous. And these dichotomous branches give the appearance of the structure oblicular or semi oblicular, means this of branch dichotomous, so their thallus appearance is like a circular, also known as orbicular or semi orbicular thallus, and the thallus is bilobed and pinnately branched or spongy with a large number of subspherical spongy bodies like gamma, or raised on the thick and vertical stalk like structure. Okay, you can see this figure. Okay, this thallus structure is the lobed structure. Okay, these all are the lobed structure, and it is also known as the pinnately branch, and they are the spongy with a large number of the subspherical spongy body like a gamma, and raised on the thick vertical stalk like structure. Okay, you can see they are the thick and vertical stalk like structure is also present. Okay, this is the figure. Okay, this is the diagrammatic figure of Anthoceros. Okay, and this B figure is the some of the other species of Anthoceros. Okay, then dorsal surface and ventral surface. Okay, in this figure you can see this figure, this surface is the dorsal surface, and this is the ventral surface. Okay, you can see in this figure. Okay, this is the dorsal surface, and under this thallus also ventral surface is the present, and their both morphology, ventral surface and dorsal surface is the different type of. The dorsal surface of the thallus may be the smooth and velvety because of the presence of several lobed lamella, rough with spine and reeds, and it is a shining, thick is middle and without distinct midriff. In this midriff it not present. There all are, these all are the structure like a leaf, but in this all leaf like structure midriff is not present, and the dorsal surface is a like a smooth structure and velvety structure, and several lobed are present. Okay, and midriff is absent. Then ventral surface means lower surface of, means, okay, this lower surface you can see, this is the lower portion of this portion, lower portion, this figure is the lower portion of this part, and lower portion means their surface is known as ventral surface. The ventral surface bear a many unicellular and smooth and walled rhizoids is present, and these main function, and rhizoid main functions to anchor, to attach, to anchor the thallus on substratum. Rhizoids main functions, rhizoids is present of ventral surface, and their rhizoids is function as a anchored the thallus on substratum to absorb water, minerals and nutrition from the soil, and tuberculated rhizoids, scales or mucilaginous hair are absent, and many small opaque rounded and thick dark bluish green spotted can seen on the ventral surface, and these are the mucilaginous cavity and filled with a non-stock colony. Okay, in this ventral surface small and rounded and thick and dark green structure is present, and it is a mucilaginous cavity, and this cavity is the filled with a non-stock you can you should know what is non-stock because of you are already studied in our first unit. Non-stock is the bluish green algae, and this cavity bluish green algae is the present, and they are the beneficial for anthoceros, and these bluish green dots is anthoceros. Okay, and they are present a ventral surface of anthoceros. Okay, then external structure and then internal structure. Okay, after this thallus, okay, this thallus you can, okay, this thallus okay, internal structure of this thallus. After you morphological structure studied, okay, in practical you take a section of this small part, and you observe in a microscope, and after take a section their figure is like this. Okay, it is the internal structure of the thallus. You can see this is the small part of the thallus, and after you observe in the microscope this type of figure is you observe. Okay, it is a internal structure and microscopic figure of a thallus. Okay, internal structure you can see in the internal structure epidermis. Okay, this is the lower epidermis, and this is the upper epidermis, and also some of the oval like cell is present. Okay, and these all are the parenchymatous cell, because of in this anthoceros no any other cell is present, only one cell, parenchymatous cell is present, and this nucleus is present. Okay, and Also chloroplast is present, and the surface of slim spore is, and nucleus and chloroplast and mucilaginous cavity and some of this parenchymatous cell. Okay, and this is the figure of internal structure of Anthocerus thallus. Okay, vertical transverse section, VTS, vertical transverse section of the thallus shows a very simple structure. It is a like any Johnson, means John is not present, and it is a uniformly composed thin wall parenchymatous cell, and the thickness of middle region varies in different species. It is a 6 to 8 cell thicked, and the outermost layer is the upper epidermis, and the epidermis cell are regularly arranged, smaller in size, and have a large lens shape chloroplast. Okay, you can see in this figure, this is the upper epidermis, and they are regularly arranged, and they have a, and their all cell have a lens shape chloroplast is present. Okay, then each each cell of the thallus contain a single large discoid and oval shaped chloroplast, and each chloroplast enclose a single large conspicuous body is called pyrenoids, and characteristic feature of the class Anthoceropsida 25 to 300 disco of the spindle shaped bodies aggregate to the pyrenoids. Okay, you can see in this figure, this is the structure of pyrenoids, and pyrenoids means this is the chloroplast, and the all chloroplasts are aggregate and their disc like and spindle structure, it is known as the pyrenoid, and there is the main function of the Anthoceropsida class. And the number of chloroplast per cell also varies in a different species. Okay, in some species are 3 to 5, and more than 300 chloroplast is present, and nucleus lies in the close vicinity of a chloroplast near the pyrenoids, and sometime a chloroplast unfolds. Okay, nucleus is present near the chloroplast, and sometime it is unfold, or sometime it is a fold with the chloroplast. The air chamber and air pore are absent in Anthoceros. Air chamber and air pore is not present, and however in a few species intracellular cavity are present on the lower surface of the cell, and this cavity from due to the breakdown on cell, and the cavity filled with the mucilaginous and is also called mucilaginous cavity. Okay, you can see this is the mucilaginous cavity, and this cavity open a ventral surface, this cavity open on the ventral surface, and those stoma like slit or pore called slim pores, and each slim pores has two guard cells with thin wall, and the guard cell are non-functional and do not control a size of a spore. Okay, you can see in this figure, this is the guard cell is present, and this structure is the large structure of this cavity. Okay, in this cell guard cell is the present. Okay, you can see this is the guard cell, is present, but they are not worked. The guard cell have a function of the stomata, and they are the closing and opening for the stomata, but in these Anthoceros guard cell is present, but they have not work, they do not any work. Okay, and the pore remain completely open, and these pore are formed by the particle separation of the two adjacent cell. Okay, and the slim pores represent a vestigial remains of the previously existing aerating system. With the maturity of the thallus mucilaginous in the cavity dried out. Okay, this pore like structure is the present for the aeration system when this anthocerous structure is the small and their maturity, their cavity is dried out. In this result, a formation of air-filled cavity are the blue-green algae non-stock inverts this air cavity through the slim pores from the colony in this cavity, and the presence of the non-stock colony in the thallus anthoceros is the beneficial for the growth of the gametophyte is not definitely known. Okay, in this cavity blue green algae nostoc is present, and they are the beneficial for the anthocerous gametophytic phase. Okay, it is the figure of internal structure of the anthocerous thallus. Okay, and then reproduction of anthoceros reproduce by the vegetative and sexual method. Both method are present, vegetative and sexual method. Vegetative reproduction take place by the following method. First method is the fragmentation, death and decay of the outer portion of thallus. Okay, the outer portion of thallus start roasting or the disintegrate due to the aging or drought as it reach of the place of dichotomy, and lobes of the thallus get separated and thus detach a lobe and develop into the independent plant by apical growth, and this method not so common in anthoceros as a liverworts. Okay, fragmentation means the lobed portion are distinct with their parent's body and they are further into the new plants, and this vegetative reproduction is known as fragmentation. And then tuber. Okay, this all of vegetative reproduction we are briefly discussed in our previous lecture. Okay, by tubers. Under the unfavorable condition, prolonged drought and marginal tissue of the thallus get thicked and from the perennating tubers, and this position varies in a different species and they may develop behind grouping points along the margin of the thallus, and tubers have outer 2 to 3 layers of the crocus and the hyaline cells which enclose the tissue containing all globules, starch grain and allular granules, and these are capable to pass on the unfavorable condition. On the resumption of favorable condition, tuber produce into the new thalli. Okay, in a tuber unfavorable condition, some part of the thallus structure they are converted into the tube like structure, and so this reproduction is known as the tuber, and this tuber have a 2 to 3 layer of the cell, and their cell is made up by the crocus cells, and in this cell all globules and starch is present, and after the unfavorable condition is the complete and this tube give a favorable conditions and they are further developed into the new plant's body. It is known as the tuber. Then gamma in some species of anthoceros like Anthoceros glenardius, Anthoceros propaguiferus and Anthoceros formosae, many multicellular stalk structure develop along the margin dorsal surface of the thallus, and this structure is called gamma. Okay, Some of the Anthoceros species, dorsal surface or ventral surface, they are converted into the gamma cup-like structure, and their gamma structure are further developed into the and when detached from the parent thallus, and each of the gamma develop into the new plant body, and this is the known as the gamma vegetative reproduction, and there persist growing apex due to the prolonged and dry summer. Toward the end of the growing season, wall of the thallus in some species of Anthoceros dry and get destroyed except the growing points. Later, its grow deep into and soil become thick, and under the unfavorable condition, it's develop into the new thallus, and it is more method of perennations than multiplications. Okay, in a persistent growing aping reproductive system, in this when the plant body have an unfavorable condition or summer season and the reproductive end of this season, some of the Anthoceros part are converted into the thick cell wall and the thick portion, and when the favorable season, this thick part and this thick apex is further developed into the new plant's body. It is known as the persist growing apex. Okay, and then apospory. In the Anthoceros, unspecialized cell of the many part of the sporogonium. For example, intercalary meristematic zone, subepidermal and sporogenous region of the capsule from the gametophytic thallus. Okay, in some part like a meristematic cell or the epidermal cell, they are converted into the sporogonium, means they are converted into the sporangium, and they are further developed into the new plant's body, and there are also liberate the spore, so it is known as the apospory, and this phenomena is known as the apospory. Their plant body, some of the part is converted into the sporogonium, and their part is the vegetative part, so it is their vegetative portion is converted into the sporangium, so these phenomena is known as the apospory, and these thalli are diploid but are normal in appearance. Okay, it is 5 method of vegetative reproduction. Okay, and we next lecture discussing about sexual reproduction of Anthoceros. Okay, thank you so much. Must see, and